us continue because we have a bunch of supports to get through. Number one, and then we have a paralogue, and then the big battle with the Empire. That's coming up here. So continue. Ooh, I got some trading points. Strategy resources.
Yes. Aryan Road's defensive capabilities have weakened considerably.
Do you still doubt me, Your Majesty? After I was so kind to sell you that delicious little tip about the secret passage.
Hey, baby Ted.
Sneaky little whelp. I never uttered a word of that to you.
No, but the Count did. I won't be sharing under what circumstances, though.
I cannot overstate what a boon it is to have members of House Rowe aiding us during our siege of the Silver Maiden. Though it's truly a shame we could not stop the kingdom from reclaiming your territory.
The fault is mine. Such stumbles would never have occurred had I not faltered on the Leicester front. Count Rowe swore his allegiance to the Empire, yet our failure in battle granted our enemy free reign of his land.
Which is exactly why we've come to take it back. The internal strife plaguing the kingdom leaves them nigh defenseless. We cannot let this opportunity pass us by.
Indeed. Hubert would never let us hear the end of it, were we to overlook this chance. At least he finds himself busy with the Alliance for now.
Your Majesty, we've received word that the Knights of Seros have been dispatched to Aryan Road.
Sith Hubert's dad.
Few in number as their force may be, they are still some of the finest knights in all the continent, and well suited to a defensive struggle.
You can say it.
I suggest we settle this matter at once, before the kingdom's main army arrives to further bolster their fortification.
Lord Gwendol, Yuri, this is why your actions will be so vitally important to our effort.
Yes, Your Majesty. Preparations are already complete. Follow me. I will escort you to the passageway.
As long as I receive my pay, you'll get whatever effort your gold can buy.
I will not allow things to end like this. No. This battle shall be the prime occasion to atone for my mistakes.
What a faithful man you are.
Damn it.
Never flagging in your duty to that wretched Count. I suppose House Rowe must want its territory back quite badly, considering the fortune they were willing to pay me.
I see you've not lost that insolent mouth of yours. You should have refused the offer if you found it distasteful.
I enjoyed dealing with that decrepit old fool as little as you did. But he still paved my path into the academy. I've never liked the thought of owing him a favor, and this will finally settle our account. Now then, I should be off.
Yuri.
What is it, old man? Spit it out.
I pray for your safety.
Do you really?
Do what you will. I only pray you find a suitable place to breathe your last.
Man, I still love Yuri. Actually, I really do love him, and I'm really sad because I have a feeling we're gonna have to kill Ferdinand. All right, so we're not gonna do this yet. I gotta pick this stuff up. Food, charge 2 people with a dirty. Okay, so you decided to gather some food and charge 2. Yeah. Okay, so support points. Who do I really want to do support with? Wow. Ooh. All right. You found a chest with an old coin in it. You exchanged it for gold to add to the war chest. Good. I need that gold because I just bought a bunch of levels. You met up with an allied army and refilled supplies. Alright, so let's get back to camp. I gotta talk to everybody. We're gonna do a few supports, and then we've got a paralogue to do. I want to do that paralogue first. Or we actually have to do it before we get through this map. Otherwise, we miss it. We can't do it again. Cheatings. Whatever. Supply master.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army.
Alright, good.
Everything has its use.
Okay, so let's start talking to peoples.
Over here. Do you have a moment?
Forgive me for asking, but I would appreciate it if you did not divulge the information regarding my father and stepmother. Not appropriate to share with those I trust, but many people would consider it a scandal. Yeah, I actually bought. No, yeah, you will be. If free recruiter, you'll be able to buy levels for her. Got it. Mum's the word.
You have my thanks.
You have my gratitude, Riston. I guess even nobles have it rough sometimes. I suppose so. I would prefer it if everyone were free to live their lives as they please. I know not how long it will take, but I would dearly like to see such a world realized. What do you mean, no? Oh. No, you can't buy levels for me. Can't buy levels for me. Is the music too loud again? Let me turn it down a little bit. There you go. I turned the music down a little bit for you guys.
Well?
The construction of Aryan Road was originally funded by the Empire. House Rowe, who were mere lords at the time, turned it over to the kingdom. In exchange, they were granted the title of Count and became the major lords of southern Vargas. Oh, compliment. Wow, Dedue, you're quite the history buff. I am His Majesty's attendant. It is only natural I know these things. Of course, the fortress's structure has changed since the Empire controlled it. However, if any members of House Rowe remain within the enemy's ranks...
Let us go.
There's no telling how the siege will play out. We must hurry. Oh boy, are they... Ditch. Lower your voice. God, poor Rodrigue. I had a lot of questions about the late king and Lady Patricia. Assuming that Cornelia did in fact bring the two of them together and urged the late king to marry her. Was Lady Patricia also evil, or was she a good person who fell into the clutches of that harpy?
What in the world?
Keep your voice down, Felix. Only a small number of people are privy to the story. Cornelia's words cannot be trusted. Neither can the Emperor's, for that matter, as she is our enemy. Listen well, Felix. The only truth you need to believe is your own. Do not be swayed by the words of... Enough! I don't need another lecture. It was a mistake to even bring it up with you. Oh, well. My apologies. It seems I've said one word too many. Try a lot of words too many. God, Felix! Why are you such a dick? Oh my... He's your dad! Seriously, stop it! Oh. Aryan Road, huh? I can't believe this is how I'm returning to Road territory. I guess it's former Road territory now. Things have really changed, haven't they?
Oh no.
Before the war, I never would have imagined I'd end up in this situation. Jerkless.
Not good. Little help here?
Count Rowe's confidant, Lord Gwendol, was in charge of Aryan Road's arsenal. He went missing when the Count surrendered. Meaning he's undoubtedly with the enemy now. I should have hunted him down before. Left no stone unturned. I'm sure it's fine. The Knights of Saros are guarding Aryan Road, right?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, but what if the enemy knows about some hidden passageway we don't? Calling it a siege would barely be accurate at that point. You wouldn't be able to win, even with 100 King Dimitri's running around. I don't know. 100 of him is a lot. I think we'd wipe the floor with them. You really think so? Wait, that's not the point here. The This is all just fantasy talk. We've had some tough battles, but something tells me this one's going to be particularly harrowing.
Let's see.
Father said he would lend us a hand as well, but who knows what will happen. Sylvain is actually onto something. He's smarter than you think. Yes, 100 Demetrius would definitely be terrifying.
On that note,
My father and uncle are securing the western front. They should be fine for now. Simon was still a no-show, though, despite how bad the situation was.
Huh?
Simon?
uh-huh.
My cousin, yeah? He's the heir to House Dominic. He doesn't get along with my uncle very well and tends to just disappear at the drop of a hat. He's not a bad person or anything, but I really wonder where he is. Oh, I'm just so nervous. We're going against the Emperor's personal guard, aren't we?
That isn't
The
good.
size of the Empire's force is overwhelming. I wonder if we'll all make it back safely. Don't worry, Mercedes. As long as we stick to the plan, we'll win for sure. Yes, you're right. I know we can win. We just have to give it our best, right? Please be careful out there, Rizlin. I cannot bear to see another friend get hurt. I don't... yeah, possibly. I don't quite remember how that went, but...
Can we speak a moment?
We've received word that fighting in the east has abated. We anticipated that the Emperor would focus her efforts on the western front from here on out. None of us ever expected that the Emperor herself would lead the attack. However, this could present us with an opportunity, just as His Majesty said. Let us defeat the Emperor right now and end this war once and for all. What else we got? We'll talk to Seta. Oh no, Cyril.
A moment.
Word has it that Shamir has joined Catherine in Aryan Road. The Archbishop is rather concerned for Catherine's safety. If those two are together, then they are 100, nay, 1,000 strong. There must be stalwarts as well. Let us prepare for the coming battle against the Emperor. Looks like we're gonna be getting Shamir. Ugh, Cyril.
Yes. Hey,
I stopped by Aryan Road to see Catherine before I came here. Shamir was there too. You remember her? Doesn't ring a bell.
Huh?
Nope. Who's that?
hmm.
She used to be in the Knights of Saros. I'm sure you saw her around. Shamir's the one who taught me how to use a bow. Honestly, I would have liked to stay and fight alongside her. Lady Rhea would be mighty upset if I went and got myself killed. Are you sure it's Lady Rhea who would be upset? Yeah, you're probably right.
Actually,
Dimitri mentioned that he wanted to speak with Edelgard. He has something he wishes to ask her. Whatever may it be. Whatever it may be, I am certain it is extremely important. However, everyone else is striving to defeat the Emperor and end the war. Or, if Edelgard perishes, so too goes his chance to speak with her. And then his words will remain forever unsaid. It depends on how the battle goes, but I'm sure they'll get a chance to talk. At least a little.
oh my goodness!
I am glad to hear that, although I wonder if that will be enough. Alright. Let's go train. Yes, she has no loyalty. You will not see that in this route, but I definitely see it in the Golden Deer's route. Okay, so we're gonna...
Time to work you into shape.
Alright, whatever. We'll just use...
No, this is not my peak.
Hey, Matt Nui. Alright.
Time to work. You can't wait.
Alright,
to see
so
how you
time,
do.
while I go pour myself a drink, let's get started on some supports here, because we got a lot. We got a lot with her. Actually, there's a bunch that are locked. I'm not worried about Petra. Let's see, Dimitri and Sylvain. Oh no, I want to be here for that one. Let me give you one that I can go step away for a little bit. No, I want to watch Rodriguez. Okay, fine. Rosetta's an Ash. Yes, drink. I'm gonna have
You saw
hey,
one
it's
too.
Labor Day.
Glad it wasn't just me.
If I was at a party, I'd be drinking.
There you are, Ash. I've been worried sick about you. You were white as a sheet during our training earlier, and I was concerned you had taken ill.
No, I'm sure that was all just in your head.
That's not your usual carefree smile.
I guess I can't hide anything from you, huh? Truth is, I turned my ankle during practice. Thankfully, it's all right, but... well, it reminded me of the time I saw a ghost when I was a little kid.
Wait, a proper ghost? Oh, what did it look like? Did it say anything? What was it wearing? Oh dear, I'm sorry. I let myself get carried away there. I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
No, it's all right. I can't let myself live in fear of it forever. So on that day, my brother took sick with a fever, and I went into the mountains to look for medicinal herbs. As I was walking along some unstable ground, I saw a large figure in the fog.
And you're sure there wasn't anyone else on the mountain with you that day?
Yeah, I was definitely alone up there. Plus, when I tried saying hello, the figure didn't answer. I knew then and there it was a ghost, and in my hurry to escape, my foot slipped, and I turned my ankle.
Well, it's important to be careful about where you step.
Wait, that's your takeaway? The story doesn't scare you at all?
Not really. If I'm honest, I heard a similar tale some time back. A long time ago, a man on a pilgrimage saw a strange, shadowy figure deep in the Ogma Mountains. He panicked and began to scream,
Well, you gotta
thinking
drink
it a
it, so
ghost or
might as
some
well.
other manner of evil omen. But in truth, it was none of those things.
Wait, so if it wasn't a ghost, what was it?
It was his own shadow reflected in the mist.
What? Then maybe what I saw was...
I can't say for certain, but it may have simply been a trick of the light.
Oh gosh. I feel silly for being afraid of my own shadow for so many years.
It's quite understandable for you to mistake it for a ghost, especially since you hadn't heard the story about the shadowy figure.
Thanks, Mercedes. That makes me feel a lot better. Hey, but if you have time, you should listen to this guy's story.
Sorry, whose story?
This guy right here. Apparently he saw a real ghost a long time ago.
Ash? You are the only other person here.
What? Come on. He's standing right next... Huh?
You were alone when I found you.
Wait, so you never saw him? What does that mean? Was he,
What? What? What was that? Alright. Or yeah, he might have just walked off.
Ah, Sylvain. I was hoping to ask your opinion on our recent meeting.
Hey, I'm always happy to talk. But if you want House Gautier's take, shouldn't you ask my father?
I don't want House Gautier's opinion. I want yours.
Okay. Well, we were talking about the pros and cons of incorporating commoners in the nobility, right? Seems to me like we got it all sorted out.
Yes. The discussion primarily revolved around a single point. Whether those without crests are actually worthy of entering the nobility.
I mean, if they're up to the challenge, I don't see why not. It's like how you promoted my brother, right? Skill is what matters in the end.
Indeed. And the performances of Ash and the Commander serve as proof of such.
Ooh, me.
Just don't get carried away, you know? Too much of a good thing and all that. I'm sure you realize what would happen to the kingdom if we lost the power of crests.
Naturally. However, crest bloodlines are currently fading everywhere. People such as Felix who were born with major crests are the exception in this day and age.
Which means Fargus has two options if we want to retain our power. One, we bolster our military and promote prosperity while delicately letting the bloodline dance play out. Or two, we admit bloodlines won't last forever and create a social system that doesn't rely on inheritance. Neither one would hold up for long, but if I had to choose, I guess the first option would be the better one for the kingdom on the whole.
Bolstering our military is more easily said than done. Impoverished as our land is, it will be difficult to compete with regions of more fertile ground.
Hey, do you remember what I said when you talked to me about promoting my brother? I told you it was important to keep up appearances while we were in the middle of a war. And honestly, I don't have any real objection to the way you're running things now.
Thank you, Sylvain. I knew you would help me sort things out in my head.
I don't usually get into serious stuff like this, but I'm glad I could help.
Such topics are not beyond your grasp, though. Your complete sincerity is a great strength. That said, you never show that side of you to any but Felix and myself. Although, I must admit, you were far from sincere during our academy days.
It was true.
Don't remind me. Just thinking about it makes me cringe.
If you see the error of your ways, it is not too late to mend them. Or perhaps you require one of my lectures like old times?
Pass. You know I've got them all memorized anyway.
I do hope you realize how much I rely on you, Sylvain. You have so many things I lack. You're clever and quick-witted like your father, yet...
Yeah, well, I've been jealous of your strength ever since we were kids.
Who wouldn't be?
None of us are perfect. So let us dwell no longer on our failings. I apologize for taking up so much of your time, though I hope to have similar discussions in the future.
I'm looking forward to it. Glad I can always speak my mind around you.
Okay, so I feel like we need to get through like all of these supports before this battle because we might end up losing some of them. I don't know. At least the ones like these, like with Rodrigue and Azure. I don't know.
Ash, you've come at the perfect time.
Why is that? Oh no, am I interrupting?
Not at all. In fact, I'd like you to try this tea.
What is this music?
Sure. Did you create this blend yourself?
I did. Your talk of medicinal herbs inspired me to study them. I created a number of different brews, thinking I might find one suitable for His Majesty. But first, I would like your opinion on the quality.
Taste testing, is it? I'd be happy to help. Oh, this tastes like...
Yes? How do you find it?
To do what did you use in this?
The same flour you gathered before, mixed with some other herbs, then steamed. I read that doctors in the capital frequently concoct a similar blend. Does it not suit your tastes?
No, I love it. It actually reminds me of something. Of course! This is what Lenato used to give me when he first took me in.
Lord Lenato used to brew this tea?
He sure did. Wow, this really takes me back. I wasn't born into a noble family, so when I started living with Lenato, I had no idea how to act. I was nervous as anything at first, but I'd always calm right down the moment I drank his tea.
I did read that this tea is useful for calming nerves. Perhaps he was trying to make you feel at home.
That sounds like him. I was pretty young at the time, so I never knew what kind of tea it was. But this definitely has the same flavor. Strange to think I've been in the capital for 2 years now and never came upon it again until today.
I don't remember this one.
Did Lenato ever serve this tea to Grand Duke Rufus?
Did I get this? I don't remember.
You never said?
No, I guess the two of them had a falling out a long time ago. He never really talked about his time in the capital. But I think he started studying herbs as a way to help the Grand Duke. Just like you're studying them to aid His Majesty.
It's possible.
Anyway, thank you, Dedue. That really hit the spot. Hey, would you teach me how to brew it sometime? I'd love to let everyone else try it.
Yes, of course.
I feel like outside of Sylvain, actually in Three Houses, that, well, and Felix, that the Blue Lions is kind of like, has a lot of the wholesome characters. Like, you know, Dedue, Ash, Annette, Mercedes. You know, even Dimitri to a certain extent. They're very wholesome characters. Well, no, Dimitri's got bloodlust on his mind, but still. Alright, let's see what we got. Rodrigue.
Ah, Your Majesty. Tending to your weapon, I see. My apologies for interrupting you.
It's all right. I just finished. Is there something you need, Rodrigue?
Yes, in fact. I received this from Matthias when I was in Gautier territory the other day.
From the Margrave? But this sword is...
He said he'd borrowed it from Lambert years ago, and had long since forgotten about it. What sort of laggard keeps a loan so long he has to return it to the lender's son? 30 years!
That would have been around the time you all attended the Officers' Academy together, correct? Would you mind telling me the story of this sword?
It started when our class was given a mission to eradicate a bandit encampment. Foolish as I was at the time, I dashed in ahead of the others, leaving me and my entire unit stranded behind enemy lines. Apparently, your father and Matthias started arguing about whether or not it was worth coming to save me. Broke out into a full-on fistfight before long.
That's a surprise. I wouldn't have expected that of my father, much less the Margrave.
Well, they were both pretty feisty in their day. Neither of them wanted to back down, I'm sure. On one hand, you had Matthias, insisting they wait for aid from the church. Supplies were running low, so charging in could have gotten everyone killed. On the other, Lambert was so determined to come to our rescue, he'd have gone all by himself if he had to. No idea whose plan won in the end, sadly. All I know is they fought their way through the enemy lines together. And lucky for me, they found us before the bandits did.
So, my father tended to charge in recklessly as well. Or perhaps he was just naive in his youth.
Story goes, Matthias's lance broke while they were fighting their way toward us, so Lambert lent him this sword. As he was giving it to me, he couldn't help but laugh about how it slipped his mind for all these years.
Considering what I know of the Margrave, I have my doubts that he actually forgot it at all.
You're probably right. This is just my opinion, but I don't think he ever really managed to accept Lambert's death until you ascended the throne.
Perhaps. In any case, please tell him I've received it. And thank you for relaying that story to me. It seems even in his youth, my father was willing to do whatever it took to see those close to him safe. Yet here I've gone and started a war, knowing full well it will hurt those I care about most. He'd likely call me a fool if he were here today.
I'm not so sure about that. Yes, he did treasure his friends. But I don't think he would have been too keen on abandoning the church either, considering all they've done to protect the people of Fargus.
Rodrigue, you knew my father well. Could I ask you to do something for me? If I ever attempt anything that would bring shame to his name, please.
Say no more. I'll stop you, even if I have to lay down my life to do it. I already promised him the same thing, actually.
I know.
You have my deepest thanks.
I do feel like Byleth is the only one who could actually heal all of the anger and turmoil in his heart, in Dimitri's heart, though. I really do feel that. Alright, let's do this one.
I'll figure something out, I promise. Just write to your father, okay?
I will.
Hey there, Dedue. Can I help you with something?
No, just passing by.
You sure? Looks like you really want to say something.
I was touched by your interaction with that woman.
What's that supposed to mean?
During our academy days, I often heard untoward rumors about you. You had a tendency to skip training and a certain reputation concerning women. You caused His Majesty all manner of headaches.
Oh, great to do, great.
I can't deny that.
I can just
But
imagine.
that's all in the past. I'm a lot more responsible these days, don't you think?
Don't expect praise for merely doing your job.
I bet Dedue was just all types of
Right.
frustrated with Sylvain back in the academy days.
Though I have been curious about what caused this change of heart.
Change of heart might be taking it a bit too far. It's just, I always see how Dimitri and Felix are out there doing all these amazing things. So I can't very well be goofing around when they're off making names for themselves. Call it a sibling rivalry.
Sibling rivalry?
They're like brothers to me, which is exactly why I don't want them looking down on me.
I see. I understand how you feel. I had a younger sister.
Had? Oh. Tell me about her. What was she like?
She loved flowers, and often made crowns out of them. And once she set her mind to something, nothing in the world could change it.
Aw, she sounds sweet. And a little intimidating.
You cannot flirt with the dead, try as you might.
Dedue, stop!
Whoa, hold on. I was just being honest.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry I never got the chance to meet her. I mean, if her protective older brother didn't kick me into next week first.
I may just have done so. Sylvain, you should visit Dusker after this war is over. My sister's grave is there. It's nothing special, but I would like to show it to you sometime.
I would love to, my friend. And I'll make sure to bring a giant bouquet of flowers with me.
She would like that very much.
Yes. Oh my god. You know what? I totally want to go with the dude to see his family's graves and sit there with him and just support him. I just want to support Dedue so bad. I mean, is there anything wrong about that? I feel so bad. Alright, who do we got left? Oh, we got a lot of Sylvain today.
You're really eyeballing that giant stack of documents there, Ash. Let me see what you've got. Records of military drills, archives of city taxes. You know, if you're searching for a particular needle in this load of hay, I can help you out.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything specific. I just thought they'd be good to study.
You're going to study all this?
Yeah. With the academy closed, I haven't had a chance to focus on learning lately. So, I thought I could give my brain a nice workout by reading old records and archives.
Hey, good for you taking the initiative. If it weren't for all this fighting, you and me would be living the schoolboy's dream right about now.
Right? We could be training together, taking classes on history and magic.
And when the ethereal moon comes, we'd go dancing with all the girls at the ball.
Oh, great.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
Why not? Come on, Ash, you're a cutie pie.
So, are those records actually helping you?
Yeah. The ones on old military drills are especially interesting. It's fun just looking at them.
Just looking, huh? You might want to read a little deeper there. I mean, take this one for example. It talks about how the 3 northern houses held a joint exercise in 1166. And apparently they did so in the middle of a raging blizzard. It was so bad that some of their soldiers died, but they went ahead and did it anyway. Any idea why?
Drills in the snow in 1166. Oh! Were they trying to prepare for a confrontation with Shrang?
Nailed it. They were training for the northern conquest they carried out a few years later. In other words, they'd already decided to try and take the north by 1166. So, if you look at the other drills during that time, you might be able to piece together what the late king was thinking.
Interesting. You know, another document did mention an exercise conducted in Guinevere.
Because they'd already predicted that Shrang forces would cross the mountains, which meant battling in harsh desert terrain.
And that's why they were forbidden from using horses during that drill. It's amazing how you really start to see the bigger picture when you dig into details like that.
And that's why keeping records is so important. Anyway, I've probably bothered you long enough.
No, wait, teach me more. I mean, if you have time.
If you really want to learn, you're better off asking an actual professor type. I'm just, you know, Sylvain.
No, you're a great teacher, and I can always ask them things when we're in the capital, but they won't be around when we're on the march. I just want to learn more so I don't embarrass the other knights. Please?
No, not the puppy dog eyes. Oh, fine, I'll help. But don't expect too much.
Puppy dog eyes. Alright, I think we're almost completely caught up. Just have this one with Petra, and I'm gonna leave that because I don't really think it's that important. So I can get that. I wasn't even gonna get Petra, I just wanted her to do stuff, so. Alright, let's get to this paralogue. Oh yeah, I'm sure he totally does, especially on the girls. Alright. So, the Saint's Forge. Rhea relates a tale describing a sacred artifact said to have been locked away centuries ago. Hearing this, the most loyal members of the church make ready to retrieve it. It's just Petra, it's fine. It's fine. We'll do it later. I gotta get to fighting. We've been 40 minutes with just
If this story is to
talking.
be believed, then perhaps a holy artifact yet remains hidden in that land.
The same holy artifact the first Emperor of Adrestia used in his effort to unite Fodlan. If we could retrieve it, it would go a long way toward preventing an Imperial invasion.
Unfortunately, the area is currently a den of rather villainous scum. And as the Knights of Seros cannot spare any personnel, our options for procuring the artifact are unfortunately rather limited. I certainly cannot do it alone.
But you are not alone. I will be right beside you.
You will not, Flame. I shall not take you anywhere so dangerous.
That ship has long since sailed. I have already been a part of more battles than I can count.
Perhaps, but still.
I will be coming as well. I have no intention of foisting this task upon the two of you, while I remain behind in comfort and safety.
You surely jest.
No.
I have already asked Cyril to prepare for my departure.
I see now. You had this all planned before you even mentioned it to me.
I did. Oh, and you need not worry. While it has been a time since I last set foot on a battlefield, I can surely hold my own against a lowly pack of brigands.
That is not my concern. I know your true strength better than any. My worry is that our destination lies deep within enemy territory. If something unforeseen were to occur, and the Church to lose its Archbishop, it would be our downfall. If we truly need this artifact, then I will go. Alone.
No, you're not going alone, Seta.
You speak of the Church's downfall as a hypothetical, yet it is already upon us. As such, it is my duty to set things to rights.
Is now a good time, Lady Rhea?
Of course, Cyril. Please, come in. Oh, you.
What? Oh, you?
What are you doing here?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I had a feeling you wouldn't like this. Cyril insisted I come, so here I am. You're headed for a den of thieves, right? This kind of stuff is my bread and butter. You should let me help.
It felt kind of weird being your sole bodyguard on such a dangerous mission, Lady Rhea. So I thought another sword might come in handy. I'm real sorry if I overstepped.
Hey, if you feel like you can't trust me on this one, I'm happy to go find a cozy bed and nap the rest of the day away. So, what do you say?
King Dmitri has spoken quite highly of you. I also hear you lead your own private force and are well respected within the kingdom's army. If you are prepared to assist us, I will take it.
I have heard much the same, and yet...
Then it is decided. Oh, and you will be handsomely compensated for your time, of course.
I'm taking the money. Taking the money.
All right, but don't feel like you've got to shower me with rare jewels or anything. I know times are tough for the Church right now. Besides, it sounds like a pretty simple job to me.
In that case, you have our thanks.
Afraid I can't be away for long, though, or my actual employers are gonna get annoyed.
Our destination is a nearby mountain hamlet. It was once a holy site for the Church, and apparently has some connection to Saint Indek. Sadly,
hey, I'm
its
a
history
mercenary.
has long since been forgotten. But this is our chance to liberate it from its new and villainous residents.
Excellent, Lady Rhea. Let us be off with all speed.
Easy, Flame. I will go on ahead and scout the enemy. You can come later with the others. Ah, and I would like you to come with me.
Okay.
Glad to.
Cyril, I trust you to keep Flame and the Archbishop safe. Is that understood?
Yeah, of course.
Seteth certainly seems worried about you, Flame.
Oh, this is how he always is.
I really am of the mind that the church gets a bad rap. I mean, yeah, I know Rhea does some crazy, like, fucked up shit with Byleth, but I really don't think the church is all that bad, but, you know, whatever. Let's see. What? I have to save Sedith? Oh, no. Battle map. Oh, it's a good thing I leveled her up. I gotta look at her. Hold on, let's convoy this shit. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so she's... Oh. Oh. No. Maybe I'll just swap. Yeah. Let's see. It's true. I don't really want to play Flame, but
My brother has been captured? My turn! Oh, how simply awful!
Sorry for not stopping it, but I promise we'll save him, alright?
The bandits are blocking all of the paths. But which one even leads to my brother?
I vote. Not a problem. I've got this. We take them all out. We'll find the one that leads to Sedith eventually.
Whenever it comes to you, dear Flame, Sedith completely loses his composure.
Yes, it truly is rather embarrassing. Out of the way!
This stronghold will fall!
well, I do think Rhea is a little more compassionate, but like if you piss her off, oh, she's no holds barred. And she can be a little scary at times. She can be.
I can still fight.
They are relying on me.
Let's do this.
Oh my god. Flame. Alright, I'm trying not to do this, but I think I'm gonna just have to play as
Are you prepared?
as Shez until I get
Just 1 moment, please.
shit.
Please.
Alright, no.
Take a breather.
Alright. I gotta go help Flame. At least until I'm assuming we will get Sedith at some point. I gotta go save her.
They are relying on me.
Oh,
I appreciate the help, but I was actually surprised you came with us. Why did you anyway?
I can't.
Honestly, I don't know you churchy types very well, and this seemed like a good chance to fix that. Here it comes!
No!
You're done!
It's just until we open up,
How sad that this land should be forsaken.
Sedith. I know, I did it to nobody. Oh my god, this is like... What is going on with the camera there?
Take this! Here it comes! You're done!
Now we can move forward again. Hold fast, Seteth. We are coming for you.
Be careful, Flame. I fear for Seteth if anything should happen to you.
Here it comes! Take this!
I didn't mean to do that again.
You're done!
Oh, couldn't hurt.
Here it comes!
I think to Edelgard, yes, I think
You're done!
I think Rhea was
We found you!
motivated.
I had hoped to scout the enemy and secure a clear path.
Both of your celebrations are premature. You still have to deal with these brigands.
Good warriors and 8 Seteth. Well, I already aided Seteth.
You're hurt, brother. Allow me to heal you.
Now, let us uproot these bandits and locate the Holy Arsenal.
I'm guessing he's not joining us.
And perhaps we will get some information out of them in the process.
Oh, he is playable, okay.
Lady Rhea is so powerful. Does she even need me protecting her?
Sorry to worry you, Flame. I am better.
Do not
Now,
interfere!
leave the rest to me. I shall protect you.
Yeah, right!
I like how Flame is all the way down at the beginning. It just ran back down there.
Not a problem. I've got it.
It's not over.
I'll tear you apart!
No escape! They got me!
Do not lose hope. The artifact's value would be lost on one such as me.
This stronghold will fall!
Okay, we can't get through the store. So we gotta get the stronghold. Probably. And she's not waiting for Cyril.
The sacred item has been hidden in this land. Do you know aught about it?
I don't know nothing about nobody!
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Have you seen any ancient items nearby?
Actually, I heard there's a shield or something if you go further in.
Like he's just going up and asking these
The
guys.
holy artifact Saint Seros and great Emperor Wilhelm hid away. Let us be off.
We know where to look for it now. We must hurry and see what we can find.
Set it where I should be able to spot it.
No escape!
Seteth is the shield of Ceros. Yup. I dig it.
Indek once had a workshop in this mountain hamlet, but there is no sign of it anymore.
This is the end! So much time has passed that all has withered and faded. I can only hope the shield itself that remains intact. Your defeat is nigh! Surrender! This is the end!
Lady Rhea, I found some kind of shield. Could this be the one?
Unfortunately, no. But it must be nearby.
For bandits! They are no match for our combined might. Your defeat is nigh. This is the end. I will not permit age to be a hindrance.
That was only a side mission.
Ah, here it is.
This is indeed the shield crafted by Indek for Keyhole, and later passed to great Emperor Wilhelm himself.
It was made for, St. Keyhole? Amazing.
Oi, hold on! You lot can't just waltz in here and take my shield!
Your defeat is nigh. Surrender! This is the end! You know nothing of its true value, and greed is all that motivates you. Come, I shall rid you of that impulse.
This shield should have belonged to Keyhole. But Ceros...
I defy you! That was 1,000 years ago. The great Emperor Wilhelm is long gone as well.
Who are you people? How did I lose?
That's how it's
May
pronounced.
You find peace with the goddess.
Fine work, everyone. Let us head back.
What? Oh, I did take a... Flame did take a lot of damage. Yeah, it was.
I have not...
Alright.
Have I regained my true power?
We successfully drove out the bandits and recovered the holy artifact. I must thank you all for your help. Truly, the goddess has blessed us this day.
So that shield is the artifact?
It is actually one of the sacred weapons. I am certain you know of
them. Indek? Maybe?
Oh, right. I remember hearing how Saint Indek made him a long time ago.
I see someone has been studying.
Oh, impressed them.
Many people mistakenly believe the sacred weapons were forged by Saint Macuel. In truth, most were forged by Indek, then imbued with power by Macuel.
It is said that this one, the Okine Shield, was created by Indek for Saint Keyhole.
such good friends. Or so I once read.
Indeed. But Seros decided to gift the shield to the first Emperor of Adrestia instead. Do you know who that was?
It was, yeah, let's see if Cyril knows.
You do it, Cyril.
It was... Vil something, right?
Somebody
Wilhelm Paul Presbelg, the only person to hold the title of Great Emperor in the history of Adrestia. At first, he merely ruled over Enbar, but then Seros imparted the revelation of the goddess upon him. In the blink of an eye, he forged an empire and raised an army to unite the war-torn land of Fodlan. His battle raged for decades. Much blood was shed.
Seros and the Four Saints fought beside the Empire at this time, which is why the struggle is now known as the War of Heroes.
Huh. Did you know all that, Cyril?
Don't use my ignorance to feel better about yourself.
Okay, Cyril.
Finally, Nemesis, the leader of the opposing forces, was defeated at the Battle of Tailteen. Having achieved his chief ambition, Great Emperor Wilhelm ceded the throne to his son, Lycaon. Wilhelm continued to assist Lycaon in battle. But Lycaon perished at a young age, and Wilhelm soon retreated into the background. He relinquished this shield to Seros, and together they returned it to Index's workshop.
Then it lay forgotten for over 1,000 years.
1,000 years? It doesn't look anywhere near that old.
That is because Uncle Indek was so skilled. In fact, he was the finest blacksmith who ever lived.
Uncle Indek?
Uncle?
I mean Saint Indek. They call him Uncle in some fables, so I misspoke.
Alas, in the present day, the Adrestian Emperor is attempting to eradicate the Church of Seros. They forget their very origins. It is nothing short of pure blasphemy. Here, the shield is yours. We also recovered other useful items from the bandits, and they are yours as well.
Really?
The Archbishop wishes it.
Just as Great Emperor Wilhelm once used this shield to defeat the wicked Nemesis, I pray you might use it to defeat the wayward Emperor Edelgard.
Gotcha. I'll give it to Dimitri and tell him to use it as he sees fit.
Excellent. I am certain he will find a proper purpose for it. Index's superhuman talent, and Wilhelm's fierce will, Seros' wishes for Fodlan, and the blessing of the goddess herself. All these things dwell within the shield. I am certain it will lead the way to victory for you, as well as all adherents of the Seros faith.
I'll take your words to heart, too, and make sure to pass them on to Dimitri.
See that you do. I expect great things from you all.
Okay. You got more support. No, nothing new. Oh, hey, I never did get this one. A group of merchants was under attack by bandits. You wiped out the bandits and rescued them. Oh, you in my life. Take this as a token of my gratitude. Oh, she's got a, she's got to, you know, talk it up. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom, so I will do Petra's support, and then, grab myself another drink.
Hey there, Petra. Off to train? I'll join you.
That would give me much joy. An opponent with toughness will keep me upon my toes.
You mean me? Nah, you're way tougher than I am. Also, aren't you a queen now? I didn't realize dawn to dusk training was part of the Brigid Royal Regimen.
I have not become queen yet, but there is an understanding that it will happen. And yes, in Brigid, royalty must have knowledge of fighting. I mean, we must know how to fight. To be leading our people, a ruler must have more strength than any other. They must be the hardest to kill. My people are expecting this of me.
So it's the toughest person calling the shots, huh? I love it. What could possibly go wrong?
This is how it is meant to be working. But such things do not always go with smoothness. Mercenaries are always seeking strength too, correct?
She's right.
That's true. A merc lives and dies by the sword.
Abandoned.
If you're not better than the next opponent you face, they'll be the last one you face.
Yes, dying is without productivity. But it gives me surprise that you do not avoid jobs of danger. A queen must be facing any wolf who comes to her door. But you can have pickiness when selecting fights.
Was Monty saying that?
Depends on how much food you can put on the table that week. Most of us mercs barely scrape by hand to mouth. End of the day, it's just business. Some mercs will take the coin and blow town, and some employers are more than happy to hang us all out to dry. I guess you don't have a lot of sellswords in Brigid, huh?
Correct. We do not require the selling of swords. In Brigid, everyone is a hunter. Everyone is a fisher. Everyone is a warrior. There is no need to be hiring, or to be hired.
Oh, another one! Another one. Okay.
That sounds incredible. In a place like that, nobody'd have to risk their life just to
No,
get a
I'm
bite
here.
to eat.
Your words give me great happiness.
Monty was just in the kitchen calling me a drunk.
For Brigid.
What? I'm sorry I leave you on the... You know why I leave you for the ones that aren't good? Because I want to be here for the good ones. Alright, let's just... Stop. No. Okay, so we're gonna go, Aryan Road to Fortress City. Come on, load.
Bring your company over to the Western Wall. I'll defend the interior myself.
Yes, Lady Catherine.
Been a while since I've had the pleasure of watching you work, Catherine.
I could say the same of you. It's been, what, 2 years now since you left the Knights? You picked some time for a reunion.
The kingdom called and I answered. That's it. Besides...
What? If you got words for me, then spit them out.
Words, huh? You know, I wasn't sure what to expect when I heard there was an ex-bandit playing general over here. But your orders are precise, and you have some serious tactical know-how. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were a trained leader.
Sometimes even bandits have great commanders. Not often, but I've seen it happen.
Our lands were always under siege by Srang forces. Got defense strategies practically beaten into me when I was a little kid.
You really are the former heir to House Gautier, then. I heard a lot about you when I was a kid myself. I'd always hoped to spar with you one day. Never thought you'd end up disowned.
I am Catherine.
Cram it. I'm the one who cut ties with that rotten house of mine.
You've done well to stay alive since.
Yeah, because I've got a purpose now. I'm gonna show the world that if I act all proper, even a crestless loser like me can accomplish whatever he wants. Ugh, made me sick to my stomach hearing that drivel. Even sicker coming from some weak-willed king with a crest who's been spoon-fed his whole life.
Yet here you are, fighting in his army. And well, at that.
Yeah, turns out the king's not the only weak-willed one around here. You know what they said to me? That I wasn't going to be held back by crests anymore. That the only thing tying me down now was my own past mistakes. Now look at me, square at the top of a squad full of crest bearers and none alike. But ridiculous as it sounds, part of me's actually come to like it.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Lady Catherine, our enemies are within the fortress, but all of the gates were sealed.
Damn it.
This is Aryan Road we're talking about. There's probably more than a few hidden passageways we're not aware of in here. The former lord of this fortress, Count Rowe, fell in battle, but I doubt he was the only one familiar with the secrets of its construction.
No, that was Yuri. Yuri found out about
fight
it.
them off until reinforcements arrive. I will cut these trespassers down in one fell swoop.
We don't even know how many of them there are yet. Looks like I'm finally settling my debts.
Such a bleak outlook will only consign you and your soldiers to defeat.
Why you?
Why you?
Forget it. Look, if you want to make it out of this alive, you'll listen close. A fortress like this has always got a secret passage. There's only a few places it could be.
Yes, I am recruiting Yuri.
The fighting has reached Aryan
Yes.
Road's inner walls. The enemy must have entered through some unknown route.
I'm glad they're already in. Just means more chances to show what I can do.
I appreciate your confidence. Is everyone prepared? Today, we will deal a decisive blow not only to the vile Emperor, but to all of Adrestia. And I will be depending on each and every one of you to do it. Now, with me!
Man, that ramen's smelling good, but I already had lunch. Yes, I'm recruiting Yuri because he has the best support of all the characters. Like, all of his supports are good. And we've got to get Yuri and Sylvain support. We gotta do it. Both of them, they're the best. So, and BB10, it's fine. Nobody's being mean. We all love you. I'm not drunk. I haven't even had one. I've had 1/4 of my second drink. I'm fine. I can still enunciate. Definitely, I'm fine. It's very hype. This is a big battle. All right. Oh shit! No! Okay, you guys, we're not doing this battle yet. Shit! Damn it! No, I'm not gonna be bad today. I've got to get 2 more. I need to get some. It was either Yuri or Shamir, and I need to get Shamir because she has a support with Gerald and Catherine. Not a support, but a what do you call it? She has a paralogue with Catherine and Gerald, and I want to do that because we actually get to do stuff with Gerald, and I love him. So we're gonna have to do a couple more battles and open this up. So, yeah, paralogue. So we're just gonna do these real quick. We'll do these real quick, and then we'll do that last battle, and then we'll do probably some supports before the end. All right, sorry. Alright, so who are... Oh, no, I don't want... We were all ready for that battle, too. Ready to go, but we can't. We gotta do this. Alright, so who am I gonna have out here? Who needs... support? Oh, better do Bernadetta. I'm gonna do Bernadetta. So that we can use, Wait, you're right! I can! You're right. Never mind. But, I don't know if I have any of those. Let's see. Capture without fighting. Oh, I got it. Hold on. No, I want to recruit Shamir. She doesn't have a lot of supports with other characters, but I do want her paralog. And then, we're definitely Yuri. Definitely Yuri. Oh man, I love that guy. I do. I really love him. I gotta go get, Vanguard whistles. Which means I gotta go buy them using my, let's see. Spend Renown. There we go. I have it. You're right. I can just do this. Yes, it does have an end. It does have an end. It's just a long game. Alright, so... No! Don't go back to... Alright, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Back and forth. Alright, so... No, it's not. It's muscle memory. It's muscle. That's why. I'm so used to whatever. No. That was another game, but it's the same characters. I'm just gonna pick up all this stuff. Training points.
What?
You're going to... Wait, what? Medicine you just picked up off the ground. What? Damn it, I missed that. Raise magic. We're gonna raise Sylvain's magic. Because I actually use them. We found some useful items in this old and long abandoned castle.
Greetings.
Alright, I found some real... Yeah, I don't need to see this. Yeah.
What you think?
Ooh. He has good luck. Alright. That should give me enough points. Let me go train real quick. And then, because otherwise I'll lose the training point. And then we're gonna do the battle.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
I'm just doing it for the supports. Just doing it for the supports.
Time to work. Can't wait to see how you do.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Alright, Master. Okay, here's the thing. I would not like Dead by Daylight because I'm not very big at, PvP. I mean, player versus player. I mean, I just don't know. I don't like... I'm not big at having to compete against other players. Not my thing. Alright, who...
Care to make yourself useful?
Here. So we're gonna do Bernadetta because I really want to get her supports up with Dimitri too.
Counting on you both.
We'll handle this together.
And you need me for this? Are you sure? We all must do our fair share.
Oh, this is an obsession for me. this is. Wait, hold on. Support. This is definitely obsession. Oh, it's not Dimitri. All right, we can just get out of here. Yes. Please tell me we can. I'm just gonna skip past the. I don't know if it's gonna have us do the cutscenes or not. Okay, good, perfect. Alright, so we're going to persuade Shamir and Yuri. I don't hate Bernadetta, I don't. There's only 6? Alright, who am I to do?
Understood.
I'll do my best.
Setta's out there. Alright, hold on. I need to get my my boys out here. Good. So I can play either Sylvain, Dimitri, or Juju. Good. What? I will do Bernadetta's, but it's like, if it was Dimitri's, I was gonna do it right away, but I will do it! Casually likes anime? I casually like anime. I'm not super into it, but I will watch some anime. And I love Final Fantasy XIV, but it's not like I am super, super into the entire Final Fantasy series. I've only played like 2 or 3 of them. Exactly. So you have now met people who are not super obsessed with Final Fantasy. So, all right, let's do this.
Please hurry, Your Majesty. The enemy used a secret passage to infiltrate the fortress, and have already engaged Catherine and her unit.
Take a breather.
Let us help them at once. We cannot afford failure.
Come on,
Our strength is too valuable.
So they really did find a back way in. Seems like the main gate's still closed. Thankfully, the controls aren't too far off.
We are definitely going to recruit Constance, don't worry. I wonder what level these guys are. 63! What?! I just can't catch up! I can't catch up on the levels! What? I'm level 30! They're 63!
Well, why don't you cheat and buy levels?
Because you can only buy it according, go up to the highest level character. My highest level character is like 32.
Well, get good.
Oh my god, shut up!
Let's do this!
God.
I'll do my best!
Let's go. I know, I'm sorry, it's just...
I'll do what I can.
It's just making me mad that I screwed up at the beginning of this. Making it more difficult for me. Alright, so... Shut up!
Not a problem. Move
No.
out. Not a problem. I've got this.
Alright, so who is going to... You know what?
Shall we?
Just guard me. No, just guard.
I'll provide assistance.
It will survive. It's fine. It's just gonna be harder.
Controls for the gate. We'll need to fight our way past them if we're to have any hope of winning today.
I can still fight.
No.
Let's take it for ourselves.
They spotted me. Guess I've lost a step.
No, don't call him Jerkbane, Trevor. He's not Jerkbane.
Shamir, we must assist her.
We have to assist Shamir. Okay.
My turn.
What?
Watch and learn.
This is where I die. It's the most comfortable place for an eternal sleep.
Yeah, right.
Uh-oh, we gotta get over there.
Shamir is in dire trouble. We must help her at once.
Okay. Oh man, I can't get through there. Alright, I gotta get this other... Wait, why are you guys not... Oh. What the hell are you doing, Felix? I don't think... I have it on casual, so I don't think I would permanently lose them. Supposedly, the levels doesn't really... I mean, it makes them harder, but I can still fight them. It's just making it more difficult for me.
I'll help you.
It's not like in other games where if they're like 30 levels above you, you're not doing any damage to them. Oh, I gotta get this lever. PB-10's, I guess, not a psychopath. No, he's not. I will stick up for BB-10 there. He's not a psychopath. Now, actually, I don't think Dimitri is either. He's just really, really damaged. He's just really damaged.
Strike is one.
Got this. Where's this? Oh, operate. What's his damage? His parents, his dad, and who was the king, was murdered before his very
That
eyes.
should clear our way into the fortress.
When he was 12 years old, his dad, not like his best friend and all this other stuff, they were murdered, and he couldn't do anything. He had to flee, and he blames himself for it forever.
Surprised you came for me. I guess I should return the favor.
Little help?
Let us begin.
I'll show him what I've got.
Hey, you tried.
For Kingdom forces. Quick, request reinforcements from the main army.
Stop the messengers! If they send in more troops, we'll never reach the main hall.
Got you.
Okay, I aided Shamir. Okay, Ash. No, Ash, come here.
I'll do my best.
You wonder if you
I'm a
actually
little
played
nervous about this.
the game. Alright, you guys are good here, right?
I'll do what I can. It's worth a shot.
We must...
Please, go rest. You can leave this to us.
Appreciate it. I owe
One of the Gautier brats, huh? Don't tell me you actually want to fight.
I'm a lot more than some stupid family name. I'll knock your teeth out for that.
But isn't someone feisty? Fine. Show me what you can do.
Alright, I'm gonna have to go down there because this messenger is gonna make it.
Fighting? It's probably for the best that I don't go help him, honestly.
Perhaps, but we can't abandon him either. Let us open this gate and hurry to Miquelon's aid.
Shit.
So we have to open this gate before we can open the one at the main hall? That's annoying.
True to its fame, the Silver Maiden's arsenal is robust indeed.
Think you can help?
Let us begin.
I'll show them what I've got.
No, I'm not lost. Well, a little bit, but...
There. No reinforcements should be showing up now.
Okay, so now we need to get up here.
Not a problem. I've got this.
We will proceed as planned.
Oh no.
I'll do what I can. It's
Yeah, just a little bit. What is this? Oh man, I can't get in there. Alright, we gotta go to this other side, I think.
I'll help you.
This stronghold will fall!
Strike is mine. You were careless.
They knew what they were getting into.
Why don't you always
How the
try
hell
this
did
hard?
she get up there? That's locked. Oh, this way.
Now's our chance.
Oh, you gotta go through the traps. Crap. Alright, we're gonna go back this way. Wait, it's the wrong way. It's not gonna get me there. Ah, crap. How the heck are these cities even set up this way? Ouch. Ouch. Alright, here we go. Alright, is he dead? Alright, did we get through here? Oh my god. Oh, we have to get to the... Alright, here.
That's one.
Did I open that door?
Not bad, but not good enough to beat me. Well,
It might be different if you had a crest, but there's no way I'm losing to some crestless old man.
Ouch.
you sure know how to bark, but can you bite? Let's find out, shall we, Miklon?
I can't help it. You can't time it. Poor horse. The horse is dealing with it. Wait, is it this way? Here. No. Oh crap. I went the wrong way. You know what, you guys? You know what?
I'll do what I can.
You operate this.
We march on.
Alright, I'm not running back again. There we go. Alright. Oh, great. Now we gotta get over here. Alright. So, Dimitri, you take this.
We will proceed as planned.
Do that.
We must.
And then I will go over here.
It appears we're in time. We will help bolster the main hall.
Wow, the old man's here.
I'm gonna have to use
Guess it really
the.
never hurts to ask.
I have to use an elixir here soon.
Let us crush their defenses. I'll help you.
You know,
out of the way!
I'm going warrior mode. Why isn't Mercedes, like, healing me? She should totally be healing me. Oh. It's Margrave Gautier fighting with my dad.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried.
There he is. Probably. Mercedes does have that something special. Oh, I forgot to hit the switch. You gotta hit the switch. What the heck is Dimitri doing? Now he's just standing here. Hit the switch.
As planned. We move.
Oh my god.
There should be one more device to open the gates to the main hall. We'll need to locate it.
You really don't hold anything back, do you? It's time I put you out of your misery. What a joke. Still, at least I bought us all the time we needed.
Miklon's dead.
You were careless. I didn't expect you to give me that much trouble. You put up a fine fight. Or should I say, Sir Miklon.
I may have disowned him as my son, but I see no reason not to avenge him.
Got you!
Harry is like, yeah.
We kept that many forces away from the main hall. That brother of mine really was something.
Sylvain, you don't
prepare to fire! We'll give him hell!
like everybody but Sylvain is like, yeah, he's dead. So what? We're gonna kill you anyways.
We need to shut those weapons down first.
And Sylvain's like, my brother, he was actually a pretty good guy. Not really good guy, but he was pretty strong. Damn it, Sylvain, you're too good. You're too good for this world. Ouch. Alright, so.
I'll do my best.
Oh shit, you're not gonna do that. Okay.
Not a problem. I've got this.
Pretty much. He's like, he's dead. Well, now I don't have to worry about him. No, he was not a good man.
It's worth a shot.
We will proceed as planned.
But unfortunately,
to perform to the best of our ability.
He has now died a hero.
You've got spirit, daughter of Karen. I'm impressed.
That's big talk from someone who looks like he's got one foot in the grave.
Let us begin.
I'll show him what I've got.
Hey, you tried.
You might want to put a W-O before that.
Oh no, Catherine! We must
oh no,
get to her aid!
You gotta save Catherine.
Now the stronghold is ours. Let's turn these things off.
Wendell, you're gonna die. Oh shit.
I see the whelps are all here. Think any of you can kill me?
Yeah. I think you'll roast very well in that tin can of yours.
I never wanted to see you again, but here we are anyway. Someone has to avenge my brother's death.
Oh my god.
I remember you as a snot-nosed brat. Strike is wise. You're all grown up now.
Sorry you had to come back me up. But we managed. Thanks to you.
As a knight, it's my duty to seek it. As far as graves go, yes, this'll do.
I take no pleasure in killing a man like you, yet I cannot allow you to live on.
Oh, at least... What are you peoples doing? Why isn't this guy dead yet? Alright, let's see. I feel like there must be some of the, like, screwing around here. Yeah, Ash, you go do this. You go hit that.
Let's move.
And then you do this.
We will proceed as planned. We move. No.
Alright.
A knight with no lord to serve faces adversity indeed.
Guess I really dragged you down there. Thanks for the help.
When is Yuri gonna show up?
I'll help
Perfect. Now the trap should be disabled too.
You were careless.
Can't help but slack off, I guess.
Oh, finally. Finally, you seized it.
That should put a stop to the attacks, too.
Well done, everyone. All that's left is to invade the main hall.
Report. A large Imperial force is advancing on the Aryan Road perimeter.
And I bet the Emperor is with them. What's our move, Bor?
We will not give the fortress back to them. All forces, move to intercept.
Okay. Okay, what do we do now? What's the main hall? Oh shit, I guess that's the main hall over there. Aha!
You should know that this fortress is one fun surprise after another. Well, would you look at that? A hidden staircase.
Hidden staircase. Crap.
And another secret passage? Whoever that is must be quite familiar with the construction of this place.
If it's someone from House Rome... Oh, then maybe we can persuade him to join our side.
Give it up!
Oh, Hubert's
Aryan
dad.
Road is a key position for us. We must retake it, even if we suffer losses in the process.
I can't believe I got myself dragged out here.
Sorry you guys, but I think Linhart's dying. Linhart is definitely dying. Shit. Alright, well... Who's down here? Count Hevering. Crap.
We will proceed as planned.
Is it Linhart's dad? Okay, well... He doesn't look like Linhart. Alright.
We must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
You gotta heal yourself. Now I can see Dimitri not healing himself. He's too busy. He's too busy to heal.
I'll do what I can.
Oh, that's Yuri. Oh, we're right here. Alright, who's over here? Linhart? Okay.
Not a problem.
Alright, take him out.
I've got this.
Main hall will
Oh,
lose the
shit.
whole battle. Plus, we've got to protect the strongholds all around it too.
Did he really? He killed his father? Alright.
Please tell me you're not pointing that thing at my beautiful face.
Yes, I'm pointing it at your beautiful face, Yuri.
Just living up to the Gautier name. That's all.
You always come through when it counts.
Couldn't someone else have handled this? What am I even doing here?
I'll show him what I've got! Hey, you tried!
Alright, well, Yuri's taken care of.
I knew it. You're from House Road. We sure could use you on our side. What do you say?
Well, when you put it that way, I guess I would prefer not to get butchered.
I do have to say, of all the characters that you recruit, like, some of them don't really make sense. They're like, oh yeah, I'll just join you. I just don't want to die, basically. But it makes sense for Yuri because he's the type of character that will do whatever that's going to save his hide. Like, he's not going to die. He's going to make plans, scheme, or whatever, because he's a survivor. Oh, you're going to love Yuri. You're going to love him. He is the best. The best. Yes, Yuri does make sense. Damn it, I can't get down there. Uh-oh. I think we have reinforcements. Shit. How is he up here?
We will proceed as planned. We must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
Man. Oh, I actually have control of Catherine now.
Time to go to work.
Well, first of all, you need to heal.
Time to
Second
go to
of
work.
all, I guess we're defending this. Defend.
Sounds good. I'll provide support.
I guess I'll go around and help take out Linhart. She's not dying. I healed her.
Defensive formations. Let's send the enemy packing.
Let us begin. I'll show him what I've got! Hey, you tried!
I'll be dropping out here. I'm not ready to die yet after all.
Oh, I guess just retreats.
Attack! Give them no quarter!
Oh no, this guy's about to take this stronghold.
Strike is one.
Whew. I saved this guy just in time. That makes sense. Actually, Linhart, recruiting Linhart makes sense too, because he's really not in for all this shit. He just wants to sleep. Actually, he just wants to study. That's all he wants. To study and live his life.
It won't be much use if I'm wounded any further.
Oh, I gotta save this guy too. I don't know if he shows up in this route. Wait, does he? I know he shows up in the Golden Gears route. I don't think I can recruit him. Hold on. What's going on down here? Man, I wish I could just swap to Dimitri and just finish this guy. I don't remember. I know I didn't recruit him. He wasn't recruitable. And if I could have recruited him, I would have. I will be recruiting BB10's waifu, though. I will be. Ah, crap. Why can I not get...
I am Valdemar von Hess, Imperial Minister of Domestic Affairs.
Hey.
The reasons for being here are my own.
I am here to steal.
There's no sense in getting myself killed. I shall retreat.
I'm here to steal Dimitri's kill. Alright, now what?
Nice one. That's a huge relief. Excellent. It's their vanguard commanders dealt with. Question now is, where is Edelgard?
We will crush the Kingdom Army and seize Aryan Road once and for all. Forward!
This battle shall determine the fate of the Western Front. We must show them the might of the Empire.
Oh, crap. Edelgard? Okay. Dimitri?
We will proceed as planned.
Oh, shit. Well, it would be good against her. Not Dimitri.
Not a problem.
Alright.
I've got this.
Let's see. Oh, man. I don't want to kill Ferdinand. Oh.
I'll do what I can.
I'll do my best. I'm a little nervous about this.
I know you are, Ash, but it's okay. It's okay. You won't die. That's it. That it?
We will proceed as planned. We must strive. Take her down here.
Okay. Alright, here. This is what we're gonna do.
I'll do my best.
This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna guard. You're gonna guard Dimitri.
Everyone, now is the time to rally against the Empire.
I never really.
Flag behind Edelgard. Everyone, forward!
I never really had to look at them before.
They've mobilized. We must defeat them quickly.
I have no mercy for any who oppose. Prepare to die!
Wait, where's Edelgard going? Where the hell are you going? Uh-oh.
The Emperor herself. I'll be the one to bring her down.
Little help?
Let us begin.
I'll show him what I've got. Hey, you tried.
It will take more than this to stop me.
I don't know about that.
Finally have our chance.
Not today.
I cannot let it go to waste.
I surrender. Now
See, we did.
It seems you are the victor in this fight. I bid you farewell.
No escape! Indeed, this moment will be the doom of you both.
Tallis.
Dear Edelgard, it has been far too long.
Is it so? Have you really found an ally in Dimitri?
What lie is this?
So you are not allies? That makes more sense. I can't imagine you joining forces with the man who killed your father.
If what you say is the truth, if this man murdered my father, then you and I have much to talk about. Till then, nobody lays a hand on you.
Is that?
Well. Whew.
That's enough. I'm all right. Really.
No, you're not. And I'm not gonna let you die here, okay? I promised you, didn't I? By your side. Always.
Aww. Whoa, I did not think I was gonna get a support on that.
Yeah, not bad.
Wish this wasn't so much effort.
I'll hesitate no longer.
I need to be stronger, faster.
Lady Luck was on my side.
I know, I'm sorry. Alright. Made some good gold, though. And we got Yuri! And Catherine and Shamir.
Your Majesty, the Imperial Army makes to retreat. As for that monster, it's disappeared.
Understood. After what happened to Edelgard, I dare say they had little choice.
We must treat your wounds, Your Majesty. They will only worsen without proper rest.
You needn't worry about me. The Empire is on the back foot. This is our chance. Secure Aryan Road at once!
Yes, Your Majesty.
Edelgard called my father's killer Tallis.
Hey, Dimitri. I didn't catch more than a glimpse of the guy, but something's not sitting right with me. His power was so familiar. He might be another one. Like Tomas. And like me. How am I connected to them? Just what is this power I have?
Arvel, you're being suspiciously
I understand
silent.
your concern. But my thinking remains unchanged from 2 years ago. Whatever the truth of your abilities may be, I trust you, and I will continue to do so. I only wish I had more to say than that. My apologies. Still, if your power truly is the same as that of Tomas or this Talus, then we may find that the questions hanging over the two of us share a single answer.
What do you mean?
Edelgard said it was Talus that murdered my father. Of course, it is the peak of folly to take an enemy's word at face value. But if she spoke true, then neither the Western Lords nor the Empire are the root of this strife. Another faction skulks in the shadows of Fodlan, bending matters to their will. And if we suppose Cornelia was party to Talus and his dark schemes, her actions become all the more explicable. I alone must bring light to this darkness.
You're doing it again. You don't hold a monopoly on revenge, you know. Or on truth-seeking for that matter.
I need to know what happened too. I need to face the reality of my past. I'm in too. I want my father to finally have closure.
I know I don't have the same kind of shared history all of you do. But I do share your desire to know the truth, both about myself and everything else.
Yes, you're right. Forgive me. For the time being...
Dmitri.
We have defended the fortress ably, but lost countless capable officers and soldiers in the process. Even I will need time to recover before I can wield my lance anew. Once we've secured the Silver Maiden, we'll return to the capital. Edelgard.
Are you certain? Most. Adrestia is yours to command in the Emperor's stead. None remain who can stop your ascension to the peak of this empire.
And what says Her Majesty?
Hello.
Nothing at present. A grave injury suffered during the siege of Aryan Road has left her unable to speak. Come now, Duke. Haven't you always dreamt of saving your dear empire in its time of greatest need?
Yes, you have a point. I will take up arms to solve this crisis. Under my rule, we shall crush the Kingdom and Alliance both, and unite all of Fodlan beneath the ever-majestic banner of Adrestia. The unfulfilled ambition of countless emperors past will be made manifest by none other than myself. Ludwig von Eyre, savior of the Empire.
God, it's Ferdinand's dad.
Then we will lift you up from the darkness, until the day you inevitably stumble back down.
Oh, thanks. I think, I'm not sure if Ferdinand died or not.
Having driven off the Empire and defended Aryan Road, Vargas gains a distinct advantage on the Western Front, while the indisposed Emperor retreats to her palace in Enbar. Capitalizing on Edelgard's condition, control of Adrestia is wrested away by the now regent, Ayr. However, the citizenry grows quickly resentful of his brutal manner of governance.
Because they want power. Alright, so we're finally through part 1. Finally. We are now in part 2.
Azure Gleam. Fanaticism. The year is 1182. 5 moons have passed since the battle at Aryan Road. While the war itself has changed little in this time, Adrestia has undergone a striking transformation. Its rivers run red with the blood of its citizens, who are beset by rampant pillage and slaughter. Dmitri resolves to kill the Emperor, dismantle Adrestia, and put an end to this grim reality.
Because it's the way it's pronounced?
Is
I don't
this
know.
true, Lady Rhea?
It is. Edelgard told me as much before she left to deal with the upheaval in Enbar. Regent Volkard von Arundel was colluding with Tomas and his fellow knaves. For many years, Lord Arundel was a pious adherent to the Church and its teachings, until one day, his contributions abruptly ceased. Speaking of it now, I realize such a sudden change ought to have raised suspicion.
Just like Tomas, he became an entirely different person almost overnight. We had a similar occurrence in Fargus as well. Do you know of the court mage Cornelia?
The one who cured the plague, yes? So she too.
Indeed. I have reason to believe she conspired with Lord Arundel to murder my father. I had assumed them to be agents of the Empire, striving to sow discord within our lands. Yet, back at Aryan Road, the Emperor herself was assaulted by a dark mage who we can assume is in league with Tomas. Whoever these people are, they clearly have their own objectives in this conflict.
As for the man who appeared, Thomas, was it? It seemed as though the Emperor recognized him.
Yes. She also claimed this Talus was the one responsible for my father's death. I find it difficult to take a bitter enemy's assertion as fact. But the pieces do fit.
Sorry, am I interrupting? It's been a while, Dmitri. Rhea?
That it has, Claude. I'm sorry you had to come all the way to Ferdiad for this.
That makes two of us. I could think of plenty of better places for a meeting than this chilly old capital of yours. Of course, I'm the one who asked to stop by in the first place. Thanks for seeing me, Dmitri. The Empire's sure been busy lately. An uprising over here, a siege over there. You'd think they'd get tired of causing so much chaos. But now they're looking to cross the Aramid and do the exact same in Alliance territory. I doubt it'll be long before we start getting hit with some serious losses. Which brings me to my point. What say we partner up and use our combined strength to bring the Empire down?
I am grateful to hear such a suggestion, Claude. Hardened as our soldiers may be, even the combined force of the Kingdom and the Knights of Seros pales in comparison to the staggering might of Adrestia.
If we ever hope to take their capital, we'll need to splinter their army between east and west. And, as Enbar lies in the southernmost reaches of the Empire, carving a path to it will not be an easy task.
I could get behind scattering their troops, but they've got a bear of a man in Count Bergley's defending their eastern flank. Passing through Hevring territory in the west won't be smooth sailing either. The Agma Mountains aren't exactly what I'd call welcoming.
You're right. Any attempted head-on assault will leave our forces depleted and exhausted before we even reach the capital.
But hey, you're in luck. I have a plan. A way we can target Enbar without so much hassle. All we have to do is claim one vital stronghold, and their sway in Fodlan will shrink dramatically. Any ideas what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Garreg Mach.
Hey, you really know your stuff, Dmitri.
Garreg Mach is sacred to us. Reclaiming it would provide a significant boost to morale. But how do you propose we strike at such a well-fortified location?
We'll draw the Imperial Army out to our respective front lines, then launch a pincer attack on the old monastery from both the east and the west. It's not the fanciest plan in the world, but it's all we've got right now.
Then allow me to suggest an idea of my own. I believe we should approach by way of Aelel. The valley is not closely guarded by the enemy, and its narrow paths negate any numerical advantage they may hold over us. If all three of us dispatch our best warriors, then I am certain we can retake Garreg Mach.
The Valley of Torment, huh? You're a better tactician than I gave you credit for, Rhea. How about this? First, we create a diversion by sending separate forces to the east and west and making it look like we aim for their capital. That'll split their focus. Then, when the time's right, we shift our attention to Garreg Mach, sending an army through the Valley of Torment to reclaim it.
The issue then becomes how to hold our ground on both the eastern and western fronts. The west does not concern me on its own, but we will have Count Burgleys to contend with in the east.
The trick is engaging the enemy as little as possible. And don't worry, I've got a few surprises up my sleeve if we need them.
The Knights of Seros may be few in number, but they are all the more agile for it. They will act separately, providing reinforcements wherever necessary.
Thank you, Lady Rhea. The support is much appreciated.
Tell me, Dimitri, are you gonna stay buddied up with the Central Church once this war is over?
My people still seek their guidance. So long as that is the case, I will continue to offer them shelter.
Meaning what? You'd toss them out on the street if nobody needed them anymore?
I doubt such a day would ever dawn. Territories may change, but people's hearts will always be stubborn things. Even if we started our own church like the Empire has, there's no guarantee our citizens would accept it in any timely manner, or at all. Let me ask you, Claude. How long do you plan to maintain this partnership with the Kingdom?
I hope we can keep this beautiful thing going for many years, long beyond the trouncing we're about to hand the Empire.
That glint in your eye says otherwise. But I'm glad to accept you as an ally, for the time being at least.
Come on, you can't seriously be doubting me already. Learn to trust a little, Dimitri.
Oh, you're the last person I would trust,
And
Claude.
speaking of trust, I trust you'll be throwing a big feast tonight to celebrate the occasion. I can't wait to taste that old-fashioned Fargus hospitality.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust a word he says.
Hard to believe it's already been 6 months since the siege back at Aryan Road.
Quite. It's no surprise we've been at a standstill, though. Both the Empire and Kingdom suffered heavy losses during the battle. But lucky for us, it seems the ice is finally thawing. Let's hope you've kept your wits as sharp as your blade all this time.
Ah, there you are.
Hey, what are they doing here?
Were you not made aware? Our fine leaders have seen fit to integrate our armies, as we'll be fighting on the same side from here forward. Claude was quite insistent on our joining you on the Western Front.
What?
God, just wish it wasn't so cold here. I can feel my muscles tightening up already.
Yes. I had hoped the cold would at least bring a picturesque snowscape with it, but alas.
I'm sorry to say we receive little snowfall in this part of the kingdom. I imagine our winters aren't all too dissimilar from those you experience in Leicester.
So, what would you like us to do?
Well, I guess there are two options. Either you all can stay on the front lines with us, or join the rear guard and help in a more indirect way.
I think we're gonna go that route.
Either is more than acceptable for us, though I should say our preference would be to fight by your side. If we fail to distinguish ourselves here, there will be no end to Claude's sarcastic wit upon our return.
Alright, so if I recruit them, then I get all of these guys on my team. And I don't know if I can handle such an unwieldy amount of people. So I can send them up to the rear guard, but then that means I can't get Lorenz and Constance's support. And I totally want BD10 to see Lauren's and Constance's support. So I guess I could recruit them and just not do anything with them, right? Except get their support up, right? I think that's what I might do. I think this is what I might do. So, what do you mean? You're gonna watch the support if it's the last thing I do. So, okay, I guess I can do that. And then I'm just not gonna do anything with them outside of that, so.
Let's take them at the front with us. That's where we're gonna need the most help.
Agreed. We can discuss further with the others later, but it's safe to assume that is the direction we'll head.
Very well. Allow us to show you what Alliance soldiers are capable of.
I'm sorry, his laugh.
Nice of Claude to be sending us back up.
Oh god. His laugh.
Indeed. It's hard to know what their motivations may be, but we need all the help we can muster.
Your tone's telling a different story, though. What's up?
It's merely that we all have our own reasons for taking part in this fight. Everyone, Claude, Rhea, even us. Each side is watching the other like famished hawks for the slightest hint of foul play.
What? You mean there's more to this thing than just stopping the Empire?
Oh yeah, and
Yes.
Leone.
For my part, I would like to uncover the true nature of this enemy hidden in the shadows of Fodlan. The Church likely wants little beyond the reclamation of Garreg Mach. As for Claude, who can say? Rodrigue should be joining us here in the coming month, after he's finished tying up loose ends in the West. But even as our numbers burgeon, we can't afford to lower our guard. The situation demands constant vigilance.
Yeah, nobody ever remembers Leone. I don't even know. I mean, she's okay, but I don't know if anybody who she's like their favorite character. I don't. Sad as it is to say. Like, I don't know anybody who thinks Ignatz is their favorite character. Alright, oh god. So... Oh, temporarily. I don't know. No, I don't think she did. Oh, right. Dimitri asked me to asked to see me. Something about a decision he's making. Okay, so I get let's see what supports I have open. Oh my god! So many! So many supports. Okay, so we'll watch a few of these. Oh yeah, it opened up all the A supports for her. Let's do Dimitri and Didu.
Your Majesty, you will take ill if you keep sleeping at your desk.
Mm-hmm. Didu? Oh, I've done it again. Yes, well, thank you for waking me and sparing my poor neck any further damage.
You sounded pained. Is everything all right?
Dreaming of the past again, I fear.
The tragedy?
No. The day I returned to the capital afterward. Do you remember the child who cursed me after my father's funeral?
Yes. I believe he was the son of a knight who fell in Dusker.
He was furious that I would not take revenge on your people, and even more enraged to see you serving as my vassal. He berated me without mercy, demanding I kill you then and there. All I could do was walk away. Everyone desires revenge for that day. Survivors and the dead alike cry out for retribution.
I know, Your Majesty.
I seek to fulfill the duty they have given me, and have never once flinched from it. And yet, Didu, if I were mortally wounded and begged with my dying breath for you to avenge me, What would you do?
Oh, you know what he would do.
I would do it, even at the cost of my life.
And if I told you to forget me and live for your own happiness?
No, that ain't happening.
I would regretfully decline. I cannot know happiness without you by my side.
Okay.
I would still seek vengeance. Just for my own sake, not yours.
Did you?
Interesting.
You guys just need to
And
kiss
nothing
already.
I say to the contrary will change your mind?
Your Majesty, can you not live for your own sake?
My life is not my own. It belongs to my kingdom, my people, and the dead. But had I been born to a different fate, well, perhaps I would have traveled outside Foland with you as a mercenary. Or perhaps I'd be a farmer. I confess the thought does sound rather delightful.
Surely you could still tread those paths.
It was a jest to do. I merely said the first thing that came to mind. I am driven by matters on which I cannot permit myself to yield. I hope you understand that.
Well then, all the more reason to get some proper rest. If work remains, I will aid you. If you have difficulty sleeping, I will lend you my ear. But seeing you slumped over at your desk disturbs me. Every time, I fear death has come for you in the night.
Death will never sneak up on me as long as I remain under your watchful attention.
Your Majesty, please.
Though, if I were to die and leave you alone, the aftermath would be horrendous.
Oh no, it
I
would
suppose
be.
I will heed your advice. Just this once.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
You know how, like, Dimitri went crazy when his parents died? Or his dad died, or whatever? Like, the dude would probably go crazy if Dimitri died. He would go on, like, yeah, it would be bad. Alright, so we'll watch this one. Like, his heart gave out, I guess, maybe?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I swear I will avenge you. Please, just wait a little longer. I will uncover who drove you to your deaths, no matter the cost.
Dimitri.
Glenn. Oh, Felix.
Oh, he almost called him
It's
Glenn.
you. I'm sorry you had to see that.
It hurts my heart.
After 20 years, I've seen all of you there is to see. Everyone else is asleep. You know that, right? So why are you locked up here in the chapel? Also, what's with the mumbling?
I suppose there's little sense in hiding it from you. I suffer from a kind of waking dream. I see them. I see the people who died on that day. At all hours, light and dark. If the Empire was involved in that incident, if the Emperor stood by and gave tacit consent, and give to them the same end. Gouge out their hearts and cleave their heads from their shoulders. Those are the words the dead scream at me.
When did this start?
It's been 6 years. But I began hearing their voices 4 years ago, during my first battle. I recognized the enemy general as a man I had seen in Dusker. When I removed his head, the voices cheered. They laughed. It was as if a terrible pain had finally been lifted from them.
I think I get what's happening here.
Dimitri's got some issues.
Do you really think your father and Glenn and everyone else would be torturing you like that? You're the one who's doing this, Dimitri. Not them. You.
Even if that were true, I can never forgive myself.
Believe me, I know. But it's your job to lead, If you lose your path, you'll take everyone else down with you. So try to keep that whole removing their heads thing in check, yeah? We can just call it our little secret.
Well then. Are you offering to let me unburden my heart to you when the time calls for it?
Backfired.
You're the only reason I haven't descended into utter savagery, you know. So just as Lug had Kaifon, and my father had Rodrigue, I would ask that you continue to be my right-hand man.
Right-hand man, huh? I like the sound of that.
What are you doing?
As your new right-hand man, my first act is to haul my restless king back to bed where he belongs.
This is absurd. My feet are dragging on the floor.
It's your own fault for being so tall, you sack of muscle.
Say, do you remember how I once carried you in this way when you twisted your ankle?
Yeah, turns out lugging folks around is good training. So just cram it and let me finish my workout already.
Yes, of course. Please, carry on.
They are very shippy, yes. But only, like, honestly, between, like, the same-sex couples. I swear. Like, every other like, the hetero, like, supports are totally, like, totally non-shippy. I feel like they were really, really making up for not having a lot of that stuff for in Three Houses. Like, there were people upset that, like, Dimitri couldn't that, like, some of these characters did not have really have support with same-sex characters, and I feel like they really tried to make up for that in this game. Just wait until you see some of the others. Let's see. We're not sinking any ships. No. Damn it, my headset is messed.
There you are, Felix. Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what?
About the fight you got into the other day with those soldiers.
Oh, that. Don't worry, I won't do it again.
One of my men told me the whole story of what actually went down. Apparently, one of your soldiers was mocking the heir of House Gautier, who just so happens to be me. And he started getting into it with everyone else, which is when you decided to jump in.
Worst decision of my life. But like I said, I'm done with all that. I only stepped in because I thought it was my responsibility to make my men see sense. But my fists tend to move faster than my brain, as I'm sure you know.
I'm very well aware. Still, I'm curious why you didn't tell me everything right away.
Because he said some really nasty stuff about you. I didn't want your delicate ears dropping off in horror.
Okay, now I'm even more curious. Anyway, sorry for tearing into you without knowing the full story.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I can't let personal life influence business, even if it does concern you.
You shouldn't worry about it. People speaking poorly about me is something of a regular occurrence.
If you're not speaking poorly
honestly,
about yourself.
I deserve every last bit of it. I was a real scoundrel in my younger days. Caused a whole lot of people a whole lot of headaches. That kind of talk isn't your fault or your soldier's fault. The blame lies squarely with the man I used to be.
So, why didn't you do something about that man when you were younger?
It was just... I had to be that way, you know? I had to play the part of the flippant, carefree rogue because... Anyway, look, I know I'm a real piece of work, but that's just me being me.
He was coping.
Fine. Perhaps you do deserve to be made fun of. But I still won't stand it coming from a bunch of curs who don't know a single thing about you. You may not have the title of Margrave yet, but you still make yourself pretty useful. I've seen how you've helped the boar, and I guess you help me too.
Uh-oh, blushy. Blushy!
Wow, Felix, that's... Wow. Oh boy. I think someone's cutting onions in here.
Be quiet. Can't you listen to someone for 2 seconds without opening your fat mouth and completely ruining the moment?
Well, you're the one who's blushing.
You always have been too smart and too loud for your own good. Even if no one can match you in military tactics or domestic affairs. It's like you said, we've got problems piling up both inside and out of the kingdom. But with you around, we might just be able to see our way clear of it.
That's a lot of problems to pile on one person, especially when he isn't half as great as you're implying. I mean, I might be, say, 7% more cunning than you, but that's pretty much it. If we really want to be useful to Fargus and Dimitri, we need to work together, so we can balance out each other's weaknesses.
I suppose that's true. In which case, I guess I'm counting on you.
Oh, you're heading out?
I may even need you. Maybe. Besides, I'd be stuck with nothing but miserably dour folks without you around. I'm not sure I could handle it.
You don't have to tell me twice, old friend. I'll always be there for you. I promise.
Alright, so that wasn't really, other than the blushing Felix, that really wasn't that shippy. That wasn't. Alright, let's see. Gotta have that. And Ash. Who's your girl? Tell me, who is your girl?
Hey, Ash, listen to this.
What's got you so excited, Annette?
Remember Odette, the flower peddler we taught how to read and write? Well, apparently, the School of Sorcery thought she had talent, and they accepted her as a student.
Wow, that's impressive. The School of Sorcery isn't easy to get into.
Right? I'm so glad we took the time to teach everyone.
I don't know if I have any. I'll see if I have.
It's strange to think that someone I helped is going to study under those teachers. Strange, but also great.
Speaking of the teachers, there's something I need to tell you. I had another reason for wanting to help you instruct the villagers.
Oh? What's that?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher at the School of Sorcery. It didn't even have to be that school necessarily.
Yes,
I just
Ash
wanted
is
to
a
make
guy.
a living as an instructor somewhere.
Oh my god.
And when I started teaching some of the townspeople here with you, it was so much fun.
You did seem to be enjoying yourself.
I know, right? My favorite part was when someone would have that aha moment and their face would just light up. It really made all the time I'd spent studying feel worth it.
You're a great teacher, Annette. I think it's your calling, honestly.
I don't know how you can think his voice sounds like
I've
a girl.
never seen anyone so patient with people when they're struggling to understand. If you ask me, you should become a full-fledged professor. I'd love to study under an instructor like you.
Oh gosh, you're making me blush. But if you really think that, then I'm gonna go for it. But that means I need to hit the books. Oh, and probably chat with some of the teachers at the School of Sorcery.
If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
No way, mister. You have your own dream to pursue. I mean, you want to become a world-renowned knight, right?
Well, sure. But you've helped me so much, I feel like I need to return the favor. Besides, you're a citizen of Fargus, and it's a knight's job to help the people.
I love how focused you are on that dream. It's almost silly, because you're already the greatest knight I know.
Aww.
Okay, I'm off to borrow some books from the capital, but maybe I'll ask for your help after that. Oh, and if we ever get the chance, I'd love to visit Garrick Mock's library. If you wouldn't mind going with me, that is.
You can count on me.
Thanks. Just you watch, Ash. I'll be a real professor before you know it.
Alright, let's see if I have any... No, I don't have any supports for Mercedes. We'll have some supports on Wednesday for her, I promise. She's really close with Annette. Close for a B support. Did you? Is it on your birth certificate? Oh, Yuri could be mistaken for a woman, and he actually is fine with that. He's like, you don't care. He does know he does know he's beautiful, and he really leans into it. I'm gonna do a couple more before I call it here. What we got for Felix? Better get some of these out of the way. I got a lot of them. No, he literally is. Like, I think it's his and Ash's. One of his and Ash's supports. Yuri's like talking to someone, and Ash comes running out, and he's all out of breath, and he's like, "Oh, you're so out of breath, Ash. I didn't know I was that charming." I'm just like, oh my god, Yuri, I love you. Okay, fine, I'll do Bernadetta.
Yeah, and watch your back out there, okay?
Hear you loud and clear, boss. Sure glad I got you in my corner.
Now then, just gotta... Oh. What are you hiding back there for, Bernadetta?
Who was that guy you were just talking to?
That? Just a merc buddy of mine, asking if I had any jobs for him.
Oh, he was a mercenary? But he looked like a bandit!
Hey, come on now. You shouldn't assume the guy's a common criminal just because he looks rough around the edges.
But, what about the way he talked? Oh, so scary!
You'd sound like that too if you'd been a merc your whole life. Most of these guys didn't have a mom teaching them how to sound nice and proper like I did.
I see. I guess I don't really know you that well, but are all your friends like that? Is that too nosy? That's really nosy, huh?
We'll tease her.
Oh yeah, whole gang's all pretty much the same. Guess that means you're not going into the merc business anytime soon, huh?
Obviously not! No way, not happening! Even if I wasn't as shy as I am, I'd never be able to handle all those scary people at once!
That sounds like your anxiety talking. You'd see there's nothing to be afraid of if you just gave them a fair shot. And hey, isn't basing your opinion of strangers on their appearance just gonna make you feel worse?
Well, what else am I supposed to base my opinion on?
Just spend some time with them. If you ask me, the best place to judge someone's character is either on the battlefield or over the dinner table.
I already told you I can't! Not me! Nope! Please, I need you to understand!
Oh, fine.
I get it, Bernadetta. I do. But let me ask you this. Is his appearance the only thing that's making you distrust him? There are plenty of guys out there who look just like that but have a heart of solid gold. Nicest folks you'll ever meet. By the same token, there are some real horrible people who cover it up with niceties and honeyed words. The kind of people who prey on others. My point is, judging a book by its cover will only get you in trouble. Trust me, you can't always tell who's good and who's bad from looks alone.
scare me. Nobody's tricking the iron heart of Bernie. Not today, not ever.
Okay, Bernie.
Well, probably. Maybe. I'll be fine, I swear.
Poor Bernadetta. Alright, let's see. Let's see how close we are. A net? Yeah, I can probably get a net open. Alright. We'll do a cooking real quick. Or a chore master. Here we go.
Care to make yourself useful?
Actually, before we do that, let me
We
go
all
talk.
must do our fair share.
Let me go talk to Dimitri because we now that we're the second half of the game, we actually get like tactics you could do, which gives you buffs and stuff.
I've been waiting for you.
Oh, I've been waiting for you, Rizlan. Follow me. We will begin the meeting at once. So now at the beginning of every chapter, we get these battle suggestions. I'd like to hear from everyone. Please share any suggestions
I have an
you
idea.
have. Let's see. Slightly increases experience, class experience.
I was thinking...
I have a worthy
lances.
I have an idea.
I've had a thought.
I don't know. I guess that one. Yeah.
Leave it to me.
Now then.
He doesn't have a blonde spider on his head. Alright, so this is where we're going.
Impressive.
Excellent work, Rizlan. We now have a solid plan thanks to you. Our battles will only grow more intense from here on out. There is no telling when we may lose one of our dear allies. You want to spend time with them while you can. That way you will harbor no regrets should tragedy strike. Oh, great!
Hey!
Thinking about my friends reminds me of my old mercenary band. Actually, I made a little something when I first became a full-fledged mercenary. It would be a bad idea to give that to someone. In my way of saying I'll always be there for them. Ooh, I got a merc whistle. Oh, you know who that's going to? Okay. Let's do Chore Master.
Care to make yourself useful?
I've got nothing to worry about with the two of you on the job.
Let's get this over with quickly, so we can have a nice cup of tea.
Ooh, yes please. And maybe some of your treats to go with it? We all must do our fair share.
Okay. Yes, Arvel has been very silently lately. Alright, let's see. Oh, there you go. I opened up a support. One support.
What are you doing up so late, Mercy? I was having trouble sleeping. You too, Annie? Yup. I'm just so nervous about our battle tomorrow. Perhaps we should chat for a while to ease our nerves.
That's a great idea. It reminds me of when we were students at the School of Sorcery in Verdiad.
When we shared a room and would stay up chattering until dawn?
Exactly. It feels like that was forever ago.
So much has happened in the meantime. We enrolled in the Officers' Academy, the war began.
But we've stuck together through it all, even after classes were suspended. Of course, I'm so clumsy I felt like I was always getting in people's way while we were there. I couldn't have gotten through all this without you by my side.
And I've relied on you just as much. In fact, it often feels like you're the one who's constantly coming to my aid lately. Remember when I got stuck in that bandit's trap? I thought I was done for, but you came to my rescue.
Well, I wasn't gonna leave you in a bandit trap. Although, I just ended up falling right in and getting wounded myself. I was so desperate to save you, I wasn't paying attention to what was around me. If not for you healing me, I don't know what would have happened.
Well, we worked together and made it back in one piece, so all's well that ends well. You know,
Jeez.
I think we've always been like this. I feel like I can overcome anything so long as I'm with you.
And I feel the same. I hope we will be friends forever.
Oh, for sure. We'll be best friends until we're a couple of wrinkled old grannies. There are so many things I want to do with you, and so many places I want to go. I don't care if we're strolling through Deirdre or just window shopping. Everything's better with you.
I would love to go shopping in the capital, and then later... Say, Annie, why don't we wait to talk about this until the war is over?
What? Why?
Grannies.
Because then we can each write down things we want to do as we think of them, and then show our list to each other afterward. Doesn't that sound fun?
That sounds very fun. We can even compete to see who has the longest list. I'm gonna scribble all my plans down as soon as I get back to my room so I don't forget.
But won't that keep you up longer?
Oh, right. My insomnia. You were so busy chatting, I forgot all about it. Thanks, Mercy. I feel a lot better now.
My sentiments exactly. Good night, Annie. I'll see you tomorrow.
Aww. Best friends forever. BFFs. Also, I had Sylvain kill Felix in one of my runs. I don't know. I don't feel bad about it. Okay, where are we at? Alright, well, we might as well go until 4 and get a few more of these tons of, supports in. We'll do another Sylvain. Fortunately, I'm just heating up
Today's training
leftovers
was
for dinner.
rough. Guess I need to start working even harder if I want to keep up.
You know, it's incredible just how into all this you are. But I do feel kind of bad for you.
Why? It's my own fault for not being up to snuff. Just you watch, Sylvain. I'm gonna stand head and shoulders above everyone else in the next battle.
That's not what I mean. I feel bad that we roped you into this war. The only reason any of us are fighting is to keep our homes from being destroyed. If we fail, we'll lose everything. Our houses, our families, the places we grew up. But you don't have that kind of personal stake in this thing. You can live wherever the wind takes you.
True. I am a bit of a nomad.
Isn't there anywhere you call home, though?
Well, sorta. I grew up in a remote village off in the mountains, so that's probably the closest thing. But it's hard to really say for sure. Honestly, I doubt I'll ever understand what it means to have a home like all of you do.
So what? Are you just in this for the money, then?
Am I just in this for the money? Yeah, I guess I am. He is a playboy in 3 houses, but there's reasons for that.
If I'm getting paid for a job, then I'll do whatever it takes to see it through to the end. And of course, I want to keep my friends safe too.
A very you answer if I've ever heard one. Not that that's a bad thing.
Really, I think this is the closest thing to a home I've ever had. Because I've got all of you here.
Are you sure? This place doesn't make for quality living, trust me. I mean, it's cold, it's desolate, and there's nowhere to go to have any fun. Plus, we've constantly got enemies like Srang soldiers coming at us from every angle.
Well, I can't deny that. But it's still important to you anyway, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And it's our job to make it a place where everyone can live in peace.
Right. Who knows what'll happen after the war. But for now, I'm with you guys every step of the way.
I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, and about those plans for the fire orb I showed you?
would you mind helping me with a little experiment later? The thing hardly had any punch to it when I tested it.
Sure. Sounds like it's a long way off still, huh?
Hey, I'm trying here. I even got in touch with the School of Sorcery to see if they could help.
No rush, Sylvain. I'm sure you'll finish it one of these days.
Not sure.
I've spent enough time with you to know. You can do anything when you put your mind to it.
Alright, what do we got?
Now then, I'd like to hear opinions on the proposed tactics. Personally, I believe it best to gather our forces and attack the stronghold directly, but...
Of course the boar wants to rush in headlong. Using a small force to take out the enemy's base of operations is a far better idea. Do you have something to say? Or are you just going to stand there glaring at me?
I have nothing to add, no.
He's just gonna glare at him.
So you're saying you have no thoughts on it whatsoever? You don't even agree or disagree? Just purely, blissfully neutral?
Enough, Felix. Leave Dedue be and tell me more about this idea of yours.
We don't need to kick down the front door here. Sneaking in with a small force and burning their food stores will be more than enough.
Interesting. We'd miss a chance to loot their supplies. But it would free up our main force for other matters.
He's still glaring at Felix.
Still, it won't be easy to slip past the patrols. I'd best take my personal troops and...
Allow me to take on the role. I trust that'll be satisfactory.
What is this? The dude does not agree.
Right then. Now that we've solidified our strategy, let's break for a bit.
Okay, what is your problem? You've been giving me that look ever since we came in here. You clearly have something on your mind, so spit it out.
It's good to have you with us.
Huh?
Really?
Few can debate His Majesty without hesitation or ill intent. Our war council proceeded smoothly as a result.
You make me sound like some kind of troublemaker. I don't disagree just for the thrill of it, you know.
You don't say.
Dimitri's always had a reckless streak. Who knows what kind of mess he'd drag us into if someone wasn't around to stop him. The guy would gladly throw his life away for someone else, given half the chance.
You have a point.
His death would mean the destruction of both Fargus and the Church. So when I try to protect him, what I'm really doing is protecting the kingdom.
Spoken like the shield of Fargus.
What's with the smile? I told you, if you've got something to say, just say it.
I know you spoke up for my sake as well. I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, well, just doing what's expected. I mean, we're, you know, brothers in arms and all that.
Okay, Felix, you can be not being asked for once.
Apologies for the wait. I trust we're ready to reconvene? You two seem to be having a lively discussion. May I ask what it was about?
Of course, Your Majesty. Felix was just saying...
I was saying how much of a fool you are. And now come. We have more important things to discuss.
Yeah, totally. Dedue's like, whatever. Keep blustering, but... Alright, one more, and then... Because we have a lot of supports. So one more, and then, she got one with? Oh, Happy. I don't know. Alright, so we'll do this one, and then I gotta call it. And then we'll pick up some more of these supports on Thursday. I have not seen this one yet.
I had no idea these grew outside the village. Oh, hi, Happy. Got some fruit there?
Yep. I used to eat them all the time when I was a kid. Care for some?
Huh? Oh, thanks. I'll just have one. Oh, wow. It's sour, but also sweet.
They're my favorite. With all the edible plant life around here, you never need to worry about being hungry.
Well, I suppose I've seen edible plants around, but are there really all that many? Sheesh. I need to get out more. I didn't even notice.
But you must have noticed. You raise them. Like the carnivorous one I saw earlier?
But I don't eat my carnivorous plants.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. Did we or did we not have a long conversation about how delicious they are?
Oh no.
In fact, I was just thinking that the jug-shaped one would be divine if we stuffed it with grains and... Bernie Bee?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just imagining you eating my adorable little carnivorous plants.
Which I have done. A lot, actually. Haven't you?
Oh no.
Of course not! Why would I eat my plant babies?
Plant babies.
Because they're delicious. Okay, that's it. I'm going to cook you up a carnivorous plant feast right now. Come on.
Wait, no! I haven't said yes to this!
Here you go. Dig in. This is the one with the leaves that act like a mouth. But instead of bugs, I stuffed it with grilled meat.
Oh no! Poor little guy! But it would be an insult to its little plant spirit if I just threw it out, so...
Little plant spirit.
What?
Well, do you like it? It's my favorite, so I hope it ends up being your favorite too. Bernie Bee? Was it so delicious you passed out? Okay, come on. Stop kidding around. Hello? I can see you drooling, Bernie Bee.
She is a spaz. She is a spaz. Alright, so we'll have to catch up. We have, oh my god, 3 for her. So many. I'm not worrying about any of these. Other than Lawrence and Constance. I'm getting that one. But we'll have to catch up. We'll catch up on these.